several of our upside targets were met today with COSM. Let's go ahead and take a look at the potentials for the following days now. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Once again, this is ARCa coming at you with a COSM technicals, raw price action, and statistical threat of analysis on this Taco Tuesday. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them can consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCa Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so we are looking at COSM on the 5-day chart here, and I would just like to express that our statistical upside here has been essentially invalidated, but invalidated for another statistical upside, of which I still have to take a note of, right? So we just got that penetration into the contraction zone here of volatility, which is usually the invalidation zone when looking at a statistical backtest that consists of expansion into contraction. Okay, so then now we are in critical contraction with an upside pivot of stochastics. That would now entail another type of statistical backtest, of which I still don't have done. Okay, you guys, so now if we just take a look at this, right? I have several charts, and I actually just started a new back test. I went on a space call right now, so I didn't actually have all the time in the world to finish this back test here, but you can see here that I've already started it, and there are several iterations here when volatility has actually started to expand from contraction paired with an upside pivot in volatility momentum, sorry. So I started this backtest in order for us to gain an understanding over where the price can go, right? So I'm almost done with it. We just need a little bit more time here, but it's looking very, very nice here, and the signal has essentially already fired. And this moving average here, I'm talking about both the moving averages from the stochastic momentum, being the EMA 3 and the SMA 14, are both pivoted with an upside in the bullish control zone of stochastic momentum. You guys, this is looking very, very promising, and now we can actually take a look to see if we have any DMI support and also the ADX, right? So let's go ahead and see if we have that in line with us too. So please go ahead and take a look at here that the ADX is increasing its market trend. Whenever the ADX reaches a minimum of 25%, we're at a good market trend to whoever is leading in the DMI. It's plus or minus. So in this case, you can see DMI plus represented by the bulls. We are definitely increasing that market trend. Okay, so this is very much DMI support plus the volatility versus momentum footprint model. We are absolutely getting some upside here on COSM to come up, you guys, but there are a few things that we do need to talk about in order for us to understand the trajectory of what we can be facing. Okay, so particularly this. Okay, so this is the descending triangle that we've been talking about for some time, and you can see here that we have literally broken out in pretty much the area we were talking about last week, right? So what this means, I mean, first of all, notice that this one candle here, right? Let me put the drawings back in. So you can see that this one candle here has officially closed outside of the resistance from the triangle. Okay, so also we are breaking out of the triangle right where we talked about, which is the 65 to 70% to the apex of the triangle. And what usually tends to happen here, you guys, is that we get a retracement, usually found. We get a retracement back to the, to test the newly converted resistance into support of the triangle. So if we are to face a downside for the coming day or the second day, then we can actually see the space of about, I would say, the NOT 618 at about 350 to the lower bound of about $3.40. Okay, so if we can see a potential drop of the price action here, that would be incredibly dangerous for the bears. And why do I say that? Well, first of all, we have the support touch from the triangle, right? This is a newly converted resistance into now a support before a continuation to the upside. So we have that as a support validator. We also have this previous mean, this average price here, which was the inflection point before continuing a price to the bottom half of the price action here. That is also in our favor, and the long's favor, that is, right? So, and now moving averages, we have the SMA 50 located right in there as well. Okay, so that paired with this very important metric. Take a look at this. So between the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio and the 0.382 lays the golden pocket, okay, which is definitely an area that the bulls love to see, right? So just like this is the area where we kind of have massive support, right? So let's just extend it just a little bit, just like this, and you can see that this area here is essentially the area that we're going to be in, and that we could essentially come back down and test, right? So the newly converted resistance of the triangle, the moving averages that we just saw, the SMA 50, the inflection point, which is this smaller red area here, that all creates a massive potential bear trap. Okay, you guys, so usually the bulls love to bring price action into the golden pocket, which is between, again, the 0.618 and the 0.382, because there could be a serious bounce from this area here, and that paired along with everything else right over here, guys, would essentially lead the price action for a continuation to the upside. Now, in the early pre, right, we actually did get that move to pretty much, we were already talking about a potential 454, right? But the price action came to 447, and it almost completed the second set of bulls that we were looking at, right? So this is, remember, I was speaking to you about the potential targets, right? So this would be the center of the triangle, hypotenuse to the lower end of the triangle. You apply it to the area of breakout, and you can see here that top side led to about $4.54, of which the price action today reached to 447, right? So this officially makes a break of market structure now. Okay, so you can see that all of these, even these candles right here, we were creating a lower high structure here, right? And then this came in here and now has officially broken that structure entirely. So this, lots of information to be looked at here. I apologize if you can hear my little toddler over there. He's just yelling at the Puka TV show, right? He loves that thing. They listen to him. He's over there just yelling at the little girl. Oh, my goodness. So anyway, you guys, so looking at the daily time frame price action, we were speaking of breaking upside of the Gaussian band here in the daily time frame, right? So please notice that we actually reached in the traditional market trading hours, right? From everybody has a different time. It doesn't matter. So yeah, during the traditional equities trading, notice how we got that 401 touch that we were speaking of yesterday at the top side of the Gaussian channel, right? We resisted right from there. Of course, you guys, that is natural for us to face. And now go ahead and take a look at this. In this retracement, usually when we break outside and close outside of the mean band, there is usually a retracement to come back and touch that mean band for a validation of support before a continuation to the upside. And where do you think that support is on the mean band? Go ahead and take a look right over there, that it is located just at about that 352 level. And why does that remind you so much of something? Well, that is because we were looking at the breakout of this triangle here coming back down to what? The 0.618 at 350. Take a look at that. That just so happens to land as well with our top side of the newly converted resistance into support. That just so happens to land actually even more perfectly with the SMA 50 located at, let's see, just about 362, and the SMA 10 located at 360. Lots of confluence in there within those targets, right, you guys? So let's go ahead and go back here and continue on to the next chart. And this is what we're looking at here in the weekly time frame, you guys. Now we're actually closing even further to the upside here, you guys. So we're holding a very critical support, which just so happens to be the previous weekly candle's top side. Okay, so that top side of this previous weekly candle was 378. We are at 382 right now. The price action is leading finally towards some type of positive upside, right? So yes, you guys, it is looking very nice for COSM. Let's go ahead and look at the last part of the analysis, which would be the RSI. Please notice that the immediate short-term time frame suggesting exactly what we were talking about, a downside to test those areas, right? Notice that the bi-hourly and the 4 and the 6 hour time frame have that downside pivot as well. So looking at the 12-hour into the daily time frames, you can see that this is already changing, right? So you can see that this is just a temporary downside for validations of support. Okay, you guys, so as soon as we get those validations of support, very much going to face a bounce just like this, another one like that, and continue on to the upside. That is if something just doesn't, miraculously sell this thing off because there's some terrible news, right? So just like we spoke of yesterday, you guys, please notice here that the 3-day time frame, the 3-day time frame, here you go, and the 5-day time frame would essentially, the 5-day, not the weekly, here you go. So the 5-day and the 3-day were essentially waiting for the shorter time frames to show an upside in order for this to be influenced, right? So you can see now that they are clearly being influenced. In fact, the 3-day time frame is landing right in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. We have an upside pivot on that SMA 14, very likely for the price action to continue to the upside from here. Okay, you guys, but remember that we do have a downside in the immediate short-term time frame. Remember the targets that we were talking about, right? We're looking at a drop anywhere between the area of about 352 to the area of about, I would say, 341, okay, before a continuation to the upside. So please remember first and foremost that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool, okay, you guys? But with that said, I wish you well, a very, very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.